Hello, internet. We have a podcast still. It's real. Promise.
Mm-hmm.
We did warn you not to get your hopes up.
And you did anyways.
You did, yeah, a bunch of dicks. I'm Josh Allen, aka Lore, joined as occasionally by Mike B, aka Fony.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always love that, like this is what, like episode 100 of this or something?
Yeah, roughly.
And we still always have to do the make sure everybody knows what everybody's voice is at the start of it, because they might have forgotten.
Well, I guess this is Mike. I don't know if anyone's not clear about that. The other one's Josh.
Yeah, I'm Mike, and the other one's Josh.
Yep. We're all set now.
It's true. So, a lot of things have happened. So, basically, for those who may be curious, the biggest reason that we haven't had a podcast in a while is that I am apparently a world traveler now. And I've been like...
And a pilot.
And a pilot, yeah. Well, I was that already, too, a little bit. But, like, I've been traveling a lot lately, so we had... God, what did we have? We had... North America, World of Warcraft North America Regionals.
Yeah.
Or America's
TwitchCon
Regionals.
actually kicked it off because I went there,
TwitchCon.
so I was gone for that. You were there too, yeah. So
yeah,
we were
at
gone for
TwitchCon.
that.
There was the America's Regionals. I don't even remember the order that all this stuff happened in. That's how much of a clusterfuck the past few weeks have been. And then I went over to Prague for the European Regionals. And then last weekend, we went out of town for stuff just to hang out. And some other things happened. I don't remember. God damn it.
The best part is that every week there's been a special thing that's happened, like on Wednesday in Destiny, with the daily missions, and like every cool thing has released on Wednesday.
The fucking Black Spindle.
And Laura's been gone Wednesday, coming back. Usually you're back by like Thursday, but somehow you're also still gone when Zur is there.
Yeah.
So it's like you just come back for a day and then you're gone Friday, Saturday. So like,
I come back just in time for the raid reset, and then I leave again.
You're swimming in strange coin, like Uncle Scrooge's money bin's worth of strange coins.
Oh no, I don't have I have 80 strange coins.
How? Oh, because you're not actually doing it.
Because I can't play. Yeah.
You can't play. Yeah, that makes sense.
I can't earn them. I spent all of them like a month and a half ago. I spent all of them that I had on 3 of coins. I still have 2 of those 3 of coins left. Like,
wow.
Yeah. It's been like, so let's talk about Sleeper Simulant and Black Spindle, because those are the things that keep fucking me over. Black Spindle,
yeah, dude.
Black Spindle. The very first day that Black Spindle was available, I had a gap of like an hour where I could try for it and didn't get it.
For those who are unaware, they basically took a standard mission, and every day that they make that mission a heroic style mission. And in this instance, they took that heroic style mission and added a hidden area that was like super heroic with a timer and a fucking boss at the end. And it was really, really, really hard. And at the end of that, like, you were guaranteed a piece of gear, an exotic weapon that was a sniper rifle. And exotic weapons are obviously very sought after. They're the legendaries of Destiny.
Yeah. It was,
and Laura doesn't have one.
I don't have one, because the first day that it was available, I had like that hour and I couldn't get it done. And then it came up 2 more times, and both times I was out of town. And then it came up again just the other day, and someone it was Can't Heals tweeted at me about it. And I was like, "Oh, awesome. I'm actually in town today. I'll get it done." And then I completely forgot and played Vermintide instead. So I still don't have the fucking black spindle.
That's unfortunate.
And then Sleeper Simulant, that mission keeps popping up, and I only notice when we're about to raid or something.
Yep.
So I don't.
When everybody else is shooting laser beams, you're like, "Oh, that's right." Sleeper Simulant.
Check out my machine gun, guys. It's pretty good. It's 303. It's good.
Yep. Well, that's unfortunate, dude. But
Yeah.
hey, speaking of Warhammer, I know it's not on our list, but it is.
We should talk
something
about
that
it.
we jumped into like recently.
Yeah.
How are you? You ran with us a bunch. What, last night? I can't even remember. I got my days all mixed up. But
Yeah,
we've
it
done a
was.
few of these.
It was last night. Yeah, I was playing a bunch. It's really fun. Like I've played a shit ton of Left 4 Dead in the past.
Yeah,
both
would you say
1 and 2.
3,000 hours or something?
Probably somewhere. How long has the universe been in existence? Because it's probably a
3,000 hours,
little
yeah.
bit more than that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than 3,000 hours. And I think my total play time is something like 400 hours or something.
Yeah,
Which
is impressive.
I could actually check.
Yeah.
Like, it's not... I'm sure there are plenty of people that were way more hardcore into Left 4 Dead than I was. But...
Well, let's not forget, there's also, like, before they started logging time in... Or maybe different platforms, I'm sure you've played it on Xbox. That's where I played it. Was on Xbox. But I didn't log... I didn't log 30 hours, so...
Yeah,
I got the gist.
Just through Steam, I have just shy of 200 hours between Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead 2.
Mm-hmm. Nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah, it's a decent amount of time that I've spent on Left 4 Dead.
That's how that saying goes. Sure.
Yeah. There is, if you had a stick, I would not recommend shaking it at how often I've played Left 4 Dead.
There you go. Yes.
I think that's how the phrase goes. So yeah, playing Vermintide, it felt like Left 4 Dead with a point.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get stuff and you get gear and you get better, and so you're like running these same missions over and over again, and it's like the missions are super repetitive, but since you get better stuff, like Diablo's super repetitive, but you can play that game for the rest of your natural life and still enjoy it because you're getting better and better and better gear, and every time you get better gear, it's like, oh man, I totally kicked the crap out of that boss so much faster than I've done it before, like at least 3 seconds. Yeah, so
and then you're like, oh, I could change my spec just by 1 point.
Yeah,
and it would require X piece of gear and all this stuff, and so the grind starts again.
And then you think to yourself, I should make a witch doctor, or
yep,
I should play a bright wizard, or whatever. Yeah.
So it's the repetition is right. I mean, right now we've only played beta. The game releases actually Friday,
tomorrow. Yeah. Well, maybe today when people hear this.
Oh yeah. So we've only had 4 missions available to us, and we've played each one a handful of times. I do like the way I've been getting gear, and I can combine gear. Like I've got like tons and tons of all these different types of mage staves, and you can actually take them all, stack them into this forge thing, and basically merge them down into one. Like, so basically take a bunch of white ones and convert it down into a green one. If you have 5 of the same thing, I had 4 and then a hammer, but it still gave me a staff at the end, so I was pretty happy about that. But they basically have a system that it's like, here, every time you level, here's a piece of gear. Every time you finish complete a map, you get an opportunity to roll on gear. You can actually buff that roll by picking up things while you're doing while you're completing that particular map. Picking up those things can make the game much more difficult, though, by slicing off a giant slice of your health, a chunk of your health. And then at the end, you have an opportunity to maybe get... we played a ton, and I got like nothing but whites, which is like, this is bullshit, right? And you're like, oh wait, are greens... When I finally mixed them all together and made a green, I was like, yeah, I got a green or whatever. And you're like, oh, are those rare because I got a blue my first run? Yeah, that's the thing that sucks, is the RNG element, but
yeah,
it still wasn't deterring though. I was like, I could still keep going.
Yeah, I like that. Like, eventually, if you get too many whites, you can say, "No, fuck you, I'm making a green." And then if you have enough greens, you're like, "No, fuck you, I'm making a blue."
Yeah,
like that's cool. That's a good sort of RNG deterrent system.
Yep.
And I really, really like the tomes and grimoires that you were talking about a second ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like the sort of, do we risk grabbing the second grimoire? No, this last boss is really tough. Let's not. It like sort of almost lets you tailor the difficulty and the potential rewards to your own group. Like even the tomes, like sure they don't like actively debuff you or anything, but they take up your healing potion / healing supplies slot.
Yep.
So you can't carry healing supplies around with you when you have a tome. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of promise to the game.
Oh yeah.
It's time will tell if it actually holds up. Like one of the big issues that I have with it is I actually can't stream it. Like it completely eats my machine's ass.
That's crazy. Yeah, and even Krendor said the same thing.
Yeah,
And which is like
I was trying to stream it a little bit yesterday, and like my screen was mostly fine. Like it was okay. Frame rate was not great, but I've got like a 4-year-old video card now, so I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah.
But then I like looked over and I was watching my actual like OBS preview for a minute. And I was like, why does it say there's 56 frames per second? It should be set to 60 frames. And so I went over and I was like watching it for a second. It was just like freezing up every like 3 seconds. You'd drop like 10 frames.
Oh wow.
And not like dropped frames in the sense of the like packet loss thing that happens.
Yeah.
But like it would just freeze up for like 10 frames.
The compression was basically lagging.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
all your processing is being taken up by the game itself.
Yeah, and then I was like, well, I'll try streaming it at 30 frames instead, take a little extra load off the CPU, and nothing changed. Like, it was the same exact issue. So I just went, well, guess I won't stream. And, like, I had 12 viewers at the time anyway, because my stream was just balls to watch. So I was like, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah.
The game is actually built on the same engine that Ravaged. You remember that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, same engine.
Another game that I actually had trouble streaming sometimes.
So yeah, so there you go. That might be the it's funny. So I didn't know that. I didn't realize that until Nick from Tudon. You remember him, right? Tudon Nick.
Yeah.
He hopped into Twitch and he started chatting and saying stuff. I was like, what? Like this is, and it's funny, after he said that, I was like, you know what? It does feel like Ravage. It does have that feel as you're running around, like the different things you could do, the physics and everything, and just how the engine performs. But it's hard for me to say like what the performance is because I'm using a separate machine to stream. So I'm sure if I fired up OBS or XSplit and tried to stream from the same computer here, it probably would take a shit. I couldn't really say.
Yeah, if I had a second streaming machine, it'd be no problem because as soon as I turned off my stream, it was like, 80 frames per second, no problem.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
carry on.
It's fine.
It seems to be just a massive CPU hog. Like, you remember how streaming World of Warcraft was like 6-7 years ago before hardware caught up enough, or like DayZ, which was a huge like CPU
DayZ
and hard drive hog. Yeah, exactly. Like it's the same sort of like as soon as I start streaming, the whole machine just goes, you're using entirely too much of one resource. This isn't working.
Yeah.
But if you're not a streamer with a kind of old machine, then it's a great game. You should check it out. It's actually really, really fun. They're doing a lot of really smart things with it.
If they only had these 4 maps, I could still see myself logging another 10 or 15 hours in it.
Yeah, like honestly, I hadn't. It hadn't even, until we were having this conversation. It hadn't even occurred to me that they probably didn't have all of the maps in the beta.
Mm-hmm.
So because I was like, oh wow, yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm sure they'll add more in a DLC or something later. Like it turns out the DLC is the game launching, but yeah, no, it's 4 maps, which is as many as Left 4 Dead had when it launched for $60 ages ago, or Left 4 Dead 2 when it launched for $60 ages ago plus 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
I got so salty about Left 4 Dead 2 because it didn't feel like a new game. It just felt
like more maps.
Yeah, it felt like a content patch or like an expansion pack for Left 4 Dead, which I was fine with buying an expansion pack for Left 4 Dead, but the problem was now I had to have 2 copies of it installed depending on what I wanted to play. So I was like, okay, I could play Left 4 Dead 1, which I really liked, and I thought was really fun and crisp and good, and have fun with that, or I could play Left 4 Dead 2, which has a few new things. So I had to have like 60 gigabytes of my hard drive taken up by Left 4 Dead. So anyway, speaking of things that are actually on our list instead of everything else we've been talking about for the first 15 minutes of this, what else happened? So I guess the Star Wars trailer came out.
Oh yeah,
and people freaked out.
People kind of freaked out, I suppose.
Yeah,
looks all right.
Yeah, I thought it looked pretty good. It wasn't like this. I didn't have the reaction to this Star Wars trailer that I did to the previous one.
Would you say
Like-
that's because of the Chewie and Han Solo cameo at the end? Or the
No.
music? Or maybe the epicness of how they laid it down all slow? Like, look at these spanning landscapes and...
For this one, for me, this one seemed more like, okay, they're making a new movie set in the Star Wars universe. And the previous ones felt more like, okay, they're making a new Star Wars. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, the old ones were just pure fans. It's just pure fan service. That's all it is. Like, the older ones were, okay, here's a crashed Star Destroyer. Okay, here's what looks like Luke doing something. Here's a guy with a weird, like, cross witch hunter lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like, these are all, here's Chewie, we're home. Like, here's all these things that make me, as an original series Star Wars nerd, go, oh! And then the new one, it was like, wait, who's this girl? Who's this guy? Is he like a stormtrooper or something? What's going on? I don't understand.
Yeah, they gave us some.
His jacket looks
pieces.
nice. Yeah, like this.
That's, you explained the same thing. I was like, hey, he's got a pretty slick jacket. Like, is that a thing with Star Wars? Like, their leading man has to have like a slick jacket for that time period or something?
There was actually a an article I saw recently. I couldn't dig it up again if I wanted to, but it was like the top 7 jackets from Star Wars or something like that.
Yeah.
And like one of them was Luke's like yellow blazer thing from the end of, or not blazer, like yellow ski jacket from the end of Return of the Jedi and the like awards ceremony.
Oh, that's a reach.
Yeah, it was like super glowy though, and it was like, okay, I guess this works. And then there was like 4 of them were Han Solo in various different scenes, like Han Solo in the first game, Han Solo's parka in the first movie, Han Solo's parka on Hoth, the jacket he wore for the rest of The Empire Strikes Back, like stuff like that. One was like Lando Calrissian's cape. And one of them was...
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, did you find the article?
Yeah, I'm scrolling down, and I think what's great about it is, yeah, you're right. You basically named all of them. It's like random people's cape, blah, blah, blah. And then I get to the bottom, and it's like Star-Lord's Crimson Han Solo-inspired space jacket. Jamie Lannister's Going to Dorne jacket. Whether it's in outer space or the Seven Kingdoms, cool dudes wear cool jackets.
It's true. Yeah, you can't be cool unless you have a cool jacket. Like, how many epic like space opera shows have you seen where the main character wears a Doritos t-shirt the entire time? Although that would be some pretty awesome product placement.
Yeah.
As someone in a marketing related profession, my brain immediately goes, oh man, but think of all the exposure.
Hey, you're in luck though. Space opera fashion is actually a board on Pinterest.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you're into this,
yeah, I don't think I've ever actually been to Pinterest.
It wants me to sign up, so never mind. Everything. I'll just give you a sneak peek. Everything is shiny and chrome. So there you go.
Okay. I mean, according to Back to the Future, we should be wearing weird, like, metal helmets and, like, circuit boards right now anyway.
Dude. That whole... So I saw... Everybody was talking about October 21st being, Back to the Future Day. And it's funny, like, I was a huge fan, obviously, right? Like, everybody was, right?
Yeah.
A huge fan of the series. I kind of liked when I just kind of felt like I was the only big Back to the Future fan, And then, like, as we approached the day, everybody was on everywhere. Everyone's talking about everybody, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and then Jen's my wife, she's at work, and she says that in her 3 meeting rooms, each one is running a different episode on loop on the screens in the meeting rooms. And they're running all day. And they had actually a Back to the Future Day, like, whole, like, a party and stuff like that. And I'm like, what the hell? It's like, I thought it was just me and Doc. Like, apparently not. Like, everybody's into this. And so I just kind of sat here just called smug like an asshole. Just like, But one thing I saw that I thought was kind of interesting and also made me feel old was it said, starting tomorrow, all of the Back to the Future canon and series will have taken place in the past.
Yep.
And I was like, no!
Yep.
There's no more future!
There is no more future. The future is dead.
Oh, man.
Now we need someone else to come out with, like, we need Joss Whedon and, like, to make a movie starring fucking why can't I think of his name right now? Played Andy Dwyer in Parks and Rec.
Yes,
played Star-Lord.
Yeah, of course. That was the first one I was thinking too, and now of course I can't think of the name. But hold on.
This is gonna drive me nuts.
Actor. Boom. Done. Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Jesus Christ. Why could I not remember
Because he's
that?
the hot number right now. Like, he'd be perfect for that.
He would be totally perfect for that. Like, not necessarily a Back to the Future reboot. Like, although I would totally watch that. I don't think that is exactly what needs to happen.
No, please, God, no reboot.
Yeah, like, I think just having a similar sort of, I have gone to the future and seen all this crazy, like, we as a culture need that sort of thing. We need something to aspire to, basically.
Yep.
Because how much of the stuff in Back to the Future ended up becoming reality? Actually, a fair chunk of it. Even hoverboards were kind of getting there with, in like 3D movies and shit. But
yeah, that's true. And even the Cubs almost made it.
yeah, exactly. But like,
so bad for the Cubs. Man. I thought this was it. I thought they would fulfill the prophecy.
Yeah. But like, no, it's actually a fairly well recorded phenomenon in actual science versus science fiction. Is a lot of times the reason people get into science is because they were reading Isaac Asimov or something, and they decided they wanted to do that. And they end up actually inventing the stuff that came out of their Jules Verne book or whatever ages ago.
That's where these ideas come from. That's where they're that's where they spawn from. It's like, hey, that seems like a cool idea. I wonder if that's possible.
Yeah, so now basically we need a new, this is what the future will be like in 30 years sort of movie that people can rally behind and be like, yeah, we're totally gonna have I don't know, fucking Instagram in our eyeballs the entire time or something.
Well, like, the problem with every movie that depicts the future is there's always something really wrong with it. Like Surrogate. It's like, wow, man, the future looks awesome. Oh, we're all a bunch of fucking fat neckbeards sitting in our things, and like every hot chick is actually a dude, you know? And like, and it was just like, oh, okay, well, it seemed kind of neat, I guess, for a moment. And yeah, every movie that it depicts the future, it just feels like there's always a catch that is a pretty serious catch, and it's depressing or something, you know?
Yeah.
Back to the Future 2 was like, here's a future, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But we can't stay here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think the "but we can't stay here" was kind of why it let them as storytellers make the future look so awesome. Mm-hmm. Because if it was like, okay, this is a movie about the future, everything's great, end of story. Like, what's the plot there?
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on?
There's no conflict with your environment. It's just kind of like, you didn't need it in Back to the Future too.
Yeah, it's the future, and like you can, like when you do it's the future, something's going on. You almost kind of have to do the dystopian thing, like the Blade Runner or whatever, where it's like, it's the future, but there's replicants, and we're not sure if they're really people or not.
Like WALL-E. Even in WALL-E, everything, even the cartoons have a dismal future for us.
Yeah, exactly. It is the future. Mankind has fled the Earth after having destroyed it. Mm-hmm. And they're all fat. And they get rescued by a tiny trash robot for some reason. God, the future of our species.
With Matt Damon, like all the rich people are living in Halo or something, and all of the poor people are basically stuck on Earth because of the living conditions are like horrible or something like that.
Is that The Martian?
No, not no.
I'm pretty sure that's The Martian.
No, it's
You said Matt Damon, so I'm pretty sure it's
obviously,
The Martian.
Yeah, it's clearly The Martian.
It's Good Will Hunting.
Damn it.
Mallrats.
Yes, that's what it was.
Was he even in Mallrats? I don't think.
Was that the one movie he wasn't in from?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't actually think he was. I don't remember. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we were talking about something.
Yeah, we were talking about.
Oh, we were talking about Back to the Future.
That's right.
Because there was Back to the Future Day. So speaking of things from the past,
Here we go.
This one's really, really straightforward.
Oh, okay.
So speaking of things that we used to really be into like 30 years ago, Linkin Park's gonna be at BlizzCon.
Wow, I was gonna take a drink here, and I am going to put it down because I don't have time. Jeez, caught me off guard. Yeah, man, Linkin Park's gonna be at BlizzCon. This is, I think, one of the first times in a while that we've known ahead of time that it was who it was gonna be.
No, it's usually announced at least like
we're like, I guess we are not that far away. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I no, believe me, I keep doing the same exact thing where I'm like, oh yeah, BlizzCon, it's still a ways out. And then I look at my schedule and I'm like, I have 6 working days until BlizzCon. Oh god, I have so much to get done.
Yep. Yeah, 2 weeks from today, pretty much.
Yeah, well, and I'm out for half of that because Wednesday through Saturday next week, I'm in Burbank doing the opening week.
Oh, right. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So, it's because the 30th and 31st is when that broadcast is for WoW. And then I'm back for 2, maybe 3 working days if I can manage to stay in the office on Wednesday. But I definitely have to drive up to Anaheim on Wednesday, so that I can be there for prep on Thursday and then Friday and Saturday. This is the obviously the 6th and 7th, for actual BlizzCon. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 working days till BlizzCon.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a lot of work to get done.
That is quite a bit. Yeah, yes, it is. Holy shit. Yeah, I think so. Linkin Park was announced, and
yeah,
I was actually very surprised at the response. I figured, oh god, they're bringing back a band from the 90s. Everyone's gonna be like, we couldn't find someone better, right? And everyone was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, that's awesome. Because I mean, honestly, I think everybody kind of liked at least one Linkin Park song. You know, they don't want to admit it. You know, at some point during the 90s when nu metal was like the hottest shit ever.
At some point in their life, every person who listens to enough music to have come across Linkin Park has rocked out to either One Step Closer,
right,
or In the End, or Crawling in My Skin.
Yeah, they just have so many catchy singles from that era.
Exactly.
And then they did the whole Reanimation thing, and then the mashes with Jay-Z, and it was like they were relevant for so long. Surely something there caught somebody's ear. I'm fucking stoked. Like, I think that's awesome. Like, last year was Metallica, right?
Yeah.
And the year before that was Foo Fighters.
No.
Oh god, was that even longer than that?
It was even longer because I wasn't working at Blizzard when Foo Fighters, and this will be my 3rd BlizzCon at Blizzard.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, that's another crazy ass thing to think about.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. But yeah, I'm totally looking forward to that. I mean, you know, amongst, you know, the other things at BlizzCon, like, you know, BlizzCon-ish stuff or whatever, but that is going to be a great end.
Yeah. Yeah, like normally the closing concert is when, like, that's when you get your spot at the Hilton Bar. At BlizzCon is like, there's a closing concert, so you know that there's at least some people in there. So now's a good time to get into a prime position at the Hilton so that you can actually order drinks at some point.
Sit down somewhere.
Yeah, try to corner some developer or something so you can rant at them about Death Knights or something.
Oh god.
Yeah. Yeah, I may actually check Link. I'm still not sure if I want to actually check Linkin Park out or not.
Freaking better, dude. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
We'll have to. The biggest thing is I'll have to make sure that I actually am able to, and that I'm not like stuck working somewhere. Yeah. But
yeah, it's not like these guys have not done shit for the past who knows how long. Chester Bennington actually toured with Stone Temple Pilots, like doing Stone Temple Pilots songs.
Oh wow.
Well, yeah, because what's his face is basically he's a junkie, so they can't really rely on him. So he toured with them for a while. Like they've all been doing musical stuff for a bit, and they put out their own albums here and there. Which honestly, a lot of the most recent stuff they've been putting out is kind of shit. But still, like I'm not afraid of seeing. I'm not worried that there's gonna be a bunch of old guys getting up there that are gonna just be like, barely struggling to make it through their set. Like I feel like it's gonna be a really good show.
Yeah, it was Blink-182 in 2013. 2011 was Foo Fighters.
Wow! Oh my God! No time stop.
I mean, there wasn't a 2012. There wasn't a BlizzCon 2012.
Yeah, I know, but damn.
So yeah. And then before that, it was Tenacious D. And then before that, it was Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
And then there wasn't a musical act prior to that, I don't think. Oh wait, no, there was The Offspring in 2005.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, me either. That was the very first one.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to BlizzCon, and that's gonna be really, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Like this is actually my first time going in a long time where I'm not directly associated with anybody.
Yeah, you get to just hang out.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I didn't necessarily do a lot the past few times that I've gone, like especially with Zam. I helped run the party. Actually, I don't even know if I'll be able to get into the party this year. That'll be kind of interesting.
Those be like, nope.
Yeah, I know, huh? No ex-employees. I don't know. I actually have no idea. I haven't.
You gotta stand in the long ass line.
I'll have to ask Perk and see if she'll let me come in. But yeah, I helped run the party and help orchestrate all that stuff. And then usually I'll do the photos for Wowhead. So like all the cosplay photos, I'll do all those. And then after that, I'll film like a couple interviews maybe. But it's been pretty relaxing. But this is like, yeah, you remember last year actually when I was running around getting Olivia and Perk onto that big ass stage you guys had set up for the show.
I randomly walked by because I needed to get backstage for something, and I was like, I'll just go past the casting desk, and there's like Olivia and Perculia up there, and I'm like, what? Is this okay?
Yeah.
What's going on?
So I did stuff, but yeah, this will be the first time where it's just like I could just go, and that was the last thing I got. My going away present from Zam is my my press badge. From Zam, so I'll still be able to do pressy things, and see if there's stuff that needs to be done for whatever site, maybe Wowhead.
Pressy things like sit in the cool kids area.
Pretty much.
Have a good seat. Have a good seat for Linkin Park.
Yeah, or photos. Like people liked those, so that's something maybe. But anyways, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be pretty awesome, and I'm sure a lot of people listening to this are probably gonna go. Right, guys? Okay.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah, that should be very cool. So, okay.
You got this?
How can I put this? Oh, wait, actually, here we go. We'll jump around a little bit here. So, speaking of Linkin Park, by which I mean speaking of that band that you hadn't heard of in a while suddenly coming back, by which I mean speaking of Cube World. I don't know. There's a jump in there somewhere. There's a connection in there. I'm off my game tonight.
You are, yeah. I thought you were gonna go the musical route with all the music he's putting out. The band you haven't heard of for a long time. Speaking of music that you like, speaking of music, whatever. Like you could have worked on the music elements. And then
I mean, I could have gone the music element, except I haven't actually been paying attention to anything that's going on in Cube World other than like you and Shizzle's Twitter feed. I just bring it up because I'm curious.
Yeah. So, Wale, he has
the trash robot from the future.
The developer. He just all of a sudden started tweeting, like just tweeting updates. Hey, I'm doing this. Hey, look, here's some music. Hey, look, here's this. here's this, and he's tweeting like several times a day, and he's not like just he's not like stretching it. Like here's a picture of the Knights of the Cube table, and then like here's another angle of the same Knights of the Cube table. Like he is actually tweeting a lot of content. Here's quests, and here's all these different factions, and here's all these different things you could do, and here's this and that, and it's like, holy crap. He's tweeting a lot of content on top of the music stuff that he has. There's tons of music now that he's written for the game. So if we ever get to see this stuff, it sounds like so long as the game is relatively balanced, it could be a pretty significant update to hold us over for the next 2 years until there's another update.
Basically, Back to the Future is the story of the Cube World developer. Like, he just lost a year somewhere.
Yes, yeah.
He just jumped forward, and to him, he's been working on it this entire time, and it's just the same. He doesn't even realize. Like, maybe he was in like a coma for a year, and when he woke up, no one had the heart to tell him.
That's not a stretch at all. So it's exciting. It's everybody's freaking out. It's just super exciting, and
he's just sitting there. Why are people so excited about these updates? My last ones were pretty good too.
yeah. So he's been super active, and I even fired up the game. My characters are wiped. It's probably stored somewhere else or whatever. But I fired the game up, and I started kind of just strutting around and checking things out. And I forgot how good it ran. How great the combat and movement felt. It's still, I mean, the game is now like 2.5 years old or something, and it still feels really good and current. So I am definitely looking forward to him posting any kind of update that'll give me, another 30 to 50 hours of fun. Because you Shizzle, so I think Squish and I and a couple other people, like I went and looked through my playlist on YouTube, and my Cube World playlist is like massive. Like we played a lot.
Yeah, I didn't play as much as the rest of you guys, but I did play it a fair bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Trove came along, and we were like, it's not the same.
Yeah. They definitely released it super early. Early Trove is nothing like current Trove. Current Trove is way better than Alpha Trove. Even the character design was completely revamped.
Oh wow!
But Cube World combat still feels a little bit better for sure. But there's just no content in Cube World.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that whole funny thing there.
So speaking of Cube World.
Mm-hmm.
By which I mean, speaking of a highly popular game for a brief period of time on YouTube, by which I mean, speaking of ways in which people created content for YouTube, by which I mean, speaking of ways that people are probably not going to do that anymore because YouTube Red.
Wow. You
wow. Well, I have no idea actually.
Oh.
I just thought I would scaremonger there for just a second.
Yeah. So YouTube Red, or
AKA RedTube.
Oh, you beat me to it. Yeah, seriously. So YouTube Red is I think it's like $9.99 or something a month. And you basically can surf YouTube without any advertisements. Now,
which sounds either great or expensive depending on how much you're willing to spend for an ad-free viewing experience.
Yeah, exactly. Now
it doesn't sound like that big of a deal at first glance, basically.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm just like anybody else. Like I had ad block I took it off recently, but I had ad block for like a long period of time, and I actually had my YouTube blocked because every time I'm going through and change things or whatever, I get blast an ad in my face. I'm like, God damn it! Like I want to watch the video to make sure I didn't screw something up. I don't want to watch a 30-second ad while 15 more comments come in telling me I screwed up. So
yeah. Also, it's a little bit weird to be paying yourself by watching your own videos.
Yeah, yeah. So I And so it's like I blocked sites that were intrusive, or like really annoying. Like you go to a site, like I mean, I was just at Pinterest for that stupid thing I did, the top, space opera jackets or whatever thing. And the first thing it did was pop up a whole full screen takeover, and it's like, give me a break, dude. Like that stuff that'd have been ad right there, boom, blocked. But the idea is not necessarily to deter people from using ad block. While that would be an awesome bonus, the idea is that people can now very easily on any device, which is a key thing here because a lot of traffic does come from mobile, have an ad-free experience, and they'll be able to support their favorite creators. Not specifically like, if you go and sub to YouTube, I'm not going to get $10 a month or any percentage of any significant percentage of that. But they do say that we should be getting a larger percentage or a larger share. I don't know if that's true for us little people, right? And then I say little people, I'm talking like me versus PewDiePie, right?
Right.
Because if they say they're going to take it and they're going to divvy it up, the subscriptions, they're going to divvy it up amongst the creators, and it's going to be the income that I get is going to be based off of the playtime that I get versus everybody else. And it's like, okay, well, that's a pretty small percentage. So yeah, we'll see. And honestly, like after this thing launches, like 6 months from now, when we're doing it, don't get your hopes up, I'll gladly lay out my numbers and be like, this is what I was making before, this is what I'm making after. Like in terms of percentages of increase, because now that I'm doing more content, that number's obviously going to go up.
Yeah, it's like the important thing to remember with YouTube Red and all of the sort of like panic that seems to be happening around it. Like I saw a lot of content creators immediately being like, "What's going on? I don't understand." Especially since there was a lot of talks about some of the higher end YouTubers, like people like PewDiePie, signing contracts and stuff with YouTube to create exclusive content for YouTube Red.
Yep.
And a lot of people were worried, like, okay, this is a thing that is only a benefit to that top like 0.5% of YouTubers, and everybody else is screwed. It's important to remember that the same general sort of thing happened when Twitch rolled out Twitch Turbo, and it turns out that was just fine. Like, these companies are not dumb enough to do something that's going to push their bread and butter, which is content creators, away from them.
Yeah.
They're not going to say, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and even if they do, it'll last a week. And then they'll go, oh shit, that was a bad idea. All right, we're done. Like, that's how this sort of thing will roll out in such an environment as YouTube, because YouTube makes how many, the hundreds of billions of dollars most likely off of ad revenue already. They're not going to just say, okay, well, we're doing this now, so people have to pay us, and everybody else, you're just not making money anymore, because what's going to happen is they will lose all of that ad revenue when every random Joe who, like, even if you're a content creator and you're not making enough money off of YouTube to pay your own bills, which is the vast majority of content creators on YouTube, that's still, like, that's more money overall, I would wager, than any of the single big YouTubers like PewDiePie or whoever.
Yeah.
Like, on their own. So just kind of when decisions like this are made, and I say this because similar decisions happen around Blizzard sometimes, like the whole WoW token thing.
Yeah,
and
the
people
token,
were like,
exactly.
This is going to kill World of Warcraft because Blizzard's just out to make money or whatever. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure, companies are out to make money. That's generally the reason to have a product to sell, is because you'd like to make money. But they're not going to do something that just kills the fucking game. Or kills the platform, or kills whatever. Like that. I have to get more than a little bit cynical and a little bit snarky every time this sort of thing happens, because of the situation I often find myself in, where people are like, are you just trying to kill the game? Wow, you hate your own game and you're trying to kill it so that people will play Overwatch or something.
Yeah, and if you, I mean, I won't deny it. There's sometimes things like that happen where it's like, okay, that seems pretty much like you're trying to get people to do this other thing that we don't want to do. Like, I've seen that happen, but the scale matters. You know, like, if you think that something is, they're doing, like, some company that is supporting a huge user base is doing something simply because they're dicks and they want to kill their own product or whatever, it's probably you're the outlier. Like, you're probably the one that, you know, the 1% or even the 5% or fuck it, even the 10% that are going to leave the product, because the vast majority is going to actually turn a larger profit. So the product won't die for that 90%. It might die with you. But yeah, that's the thing about, you know, these major changes that come down on giant user-based products.
Yeah, and I think like it's important to remember that it's not necessarily a matter of a committee sat down and looked and said, okay, this percentage of our user base wants this and this percentage doesn't, but this one's larger, so we're going to go with that. Like, oftentimes what happens is it will just be a percentage of our user base wants this feature, so and it's a decent enough chunk of the user base to look into improving it. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah. Like, it's I keep doing this, but using WoW as an example, like someone would sit down and say, okay, I'm going to they're like looking at patch notes or whatever, and they're like, oh, there's this new pet battle stuff in here. Wow, Blizzard's really pushing pet battles. They must want absolutely everybody to be doing pet battles. No. They just know that there are people that do pet battles, and those people probably want an improvement. Mm-hmm. And I imagine that's very much the same of what we're seeing with YouTube Red here. This isn't something that's necessarily targeted at the average Joe content creator, or even the slightly above average Joe content creator, like the Total Biscuits or the Jesse Coxes or the Mike B's or whoever of the YouTube world. Like, YouTube Red, honestly, probably doesn't mean much of anything for those people. It's something that for the top of the top YouTubers, it's a way for YouTube to start creating a platform that will compete with, or at least try to compete with, stuff like Netflix or Hulu or whatever, using YouTube's own content. Yeah. And I believe they've also been talking about trying to pull some other content onto the platform as well.
Yeah. They're basically trying to compete with, and they could totally do it. They have content creators ready to work for cheap that are already doing stuff because they love doing it and posting it to YouTube, you know? So they have a product that's going to come out. But yeah, like I said, I'll be more than happy to discuss. While I'm not above the median, I am definitely above the average in terms of like income percentage wise. So yeah, I'll be more than happy to discuss where, like, what happened. So if I see my, you know, $100 or whatever drop to $50 the second this thing launches, clearly something is wrong. So I'll be more than happy to discuss that if it happens. But I don't want to be like sky's falling or anything just yet, because, you know, it might actually turn out to be a little bit of an improvement. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. Like, assuming that the payout structure for the, like, assuming that the compensation for the ad revenue works out to be okay, which if it works out like you were saying, where it's a percentage of like watch time or something, then I suspect that it's probably, like, for people that make shitty videos, it will make it worse. For people that make good videos and actually are trying to grow their brand, it'll make it better.
Yeah.
And also on top of that, it now means that people who run ad block but also want access to the other content that RedTube, God damn it, that YouTube Red, I can't even think of it. I've been joking and calling it RedTube so much that now it's just, I'm gonna get myself in trouble with this. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be like, yeah, so I was on RedTube the other day, and someone's gonna be like, what? Yeah. But yeah, like there's gonna be people that want the extra content that YouTube Red has that are running ad block, that people will now start getting paid for those views because of YouTube Red. So
we will see.
We will in fact see. I I don't think that we should worry about the end of the YouTube universe
Yet.
Or at all, really.
Yeah, really.
Like, there's even been people around like the gaming industry, like the actual like game developers, who are saying like, does this mean that now we have to run ads for other people's content? I'm like, why do you even think that? What has led you to believe this?
Nothing's better than seeing a gigantic ad before I watch the Overwatch launch video or something.
Yeah, like, yo, we put this ad in your ad so you can watch while you watch.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
The best is when, like, the World of Warcraft ad has a WildStar ad in front of it or something.
Yes, that has actually happened. I think when we were streaming Legendary once, it happened.
Yeah, that makes the exact... Well, if it was, like, actually, like, a Blizzard World of Warcraft, like, check out our new cinematic or something, and then it played a WildStar ad in front of it, the executives would be really, really happy about that.
Wait, for who?
Yeah.
The executives on the side.
Yeah, exactly.
Some executives will be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I'm sure the Carbine executives and the NCSoft executives would love that. So yeah, I think we covered. Well, we covered most of the stuff on our list, but speaking of things that make executives really happy, assuming that they play Destiny, hard mode comes out tomorrow.
Yep. Oh yeah, dude. I am so looking forward to it. It's gonna be fucking crazy.
Why did this have to be like when I have 6 working days till BlizzCon?
You just get sick,
I
dude. Zarheim was sick. You could have just hung out with him for a minute.
Here's the thing: Zarheim was sick and still in the office for 10 hours because we all have entirely too much work to do.
Yeah. Oh man, it sucks. I feel for you. I really do, because like I love being there for Destiny specifically now. Like when they release raid content, it's usually pretty good. Crota was good, Multiclass was good, and now
Crota was buggy as hell, but
Crota was. I actually found out I never actually beat that thing on hard. I think when we did it, and then we ended up running into a bunch of issues, and then I just basically fell out of love with the game for like several months. But yeah, like this Oryx raid is fucking sweet. Kingsfall is sweet.
It's so good.
And hard mode tomorrow, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what people are expecting either. Like,
yeah, like I'm actually completely unfamiliar with Destiny hard modes. Is it like using World of Warcraft as an example, is it heroic or mythic? Like, is it we turned up all the numbers, or is it we've added some new mechanics and also turned up all the numbers?
It's a little bit of both. The biggest one is basically, like, people joke and they'll say, oh, more yellow bars, obviously more majors and ultras.
Easier bounties.
And yeah. And more containment fields. Or not more, but just containment fields. Containment fields, you know what those are, right?
Those are the ones you have to shoot your way out of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That people like to use explosive devices in for some reason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I remember working on like the group of like a couple of friends and a couple guys from work when we were working through Vault of Glass. We were on the Templar, and it just kept being like, okay, I'm gonna use my super on him, and then you'd use the person with the relic would use the super, knock down the guy's shield, and of course he then immediately does the containment field right after that.
Yeah. And
then 3 people would just die because they were like, oh, it's time for me to DPS. Let me get my rocket launcher out.
Yeah. We'll see, but like half the raid is jump puzzles.
Yeah, that's true.
So like are they gonna
literally half the raid?
Yeah, are they gonna remove some of the jumps or something, or are we gonna be fighting bosses while we're doing it? Like I'm sure they're hyping it up so much, and they've even kind of talked a little bit. Not only they talked about it, but the rumor is that there's actually gonna be this is hard mode, and there's actually gonna be a heroic mode that comes out later.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so basically they're gating the content to
That's really smart. Honestly, I've been so pleased with how they're rolling out content right now in Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, I've managed to miss Black Spindle like 5 times, so I think that their windows could be a little bit more, like a little bit wider. Like, make it 3 days instead of 1. And for fuck's sake, let me fucking buy shit from fucking Xur from my fucking phone.
Go on.
Can you tell I'm a little bit salty about not buying the Stag last weekend? And then fucking anyway. Yeah. So, no, I think I've been really pleased with how it's just been like, oh, here's a little bit more to do. A little bit more to do. Here's another thing to do. Here's another thing to do. Because the big thing I noticed with me about Destiny was I got really, really back into the game for the dumbest of reasons. And the dumbest of reasons was Xur sold Gallarhorn one week. And people made a big deal out of it. And so I was like, oh, I should log in and pick up Gallarhorn because apparently it's really good. And it doesn't cost me anything to log in and check it out. And I might as well. So I hopped in and bought Gallarhorn. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. There's these DLCs that came out. I wonder what that's all about. I guess there's an expansion coming out soon too. I should look into that. And I just like found all this extra content that I was able to do and got really hardcore back into Destiny again.
Yep.
And I've been playing it ever since because of fucking like Xur sold a thing. There was a thing available for 2 days. And that's what got me back into Destiny. And it wasn't even content.
And that was the last time you saw Xur.
And that was the last time I saw Xur, yeah.
Yeah, but I was actually not going to get it either. I even told Chisel, I was like, dude, I'm not going to get this. Like, I'm just not going to do it. Because I just could not believe that they could have possibly have made it any different than what it was at launch. But it's totally the whole Diablo 2 thing, 2.0. Yeah. Like it is that. Like it is a much better game that you can log a lot of time into and not feel like you're running a treadmill.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like for me, it's a game that you can play for a bit and just be like, all right, well, I'll like you can take a couple days off of it, and as long as Black Spindle doesn't come up, then you're fine. Yeah. Even if like honestly, even though I haven't gotten the thing, it's still fine. Like number of times,
weapons.
Yeah, number of times that I've specifically needed Black Spindle is exactly 0.
Yeah, it's true. I see it from my gun rack.
Yeah. So like it's just a cool thing to get, but other than that, I'm not missing out on anything by having missed that window, other than Black Spindle. But no, it's really, really smart that they have this sort of like steady content sort of drip, because the reality is, and this is something that again Blizzard has to deal with constantly and is still trying to figure out how to deal with. And honestly, I think there's a lot that Blizzard can probably learn from Destiny in this respect. Is gamers will chew through content. They will chew through it faster than you can ever possibly create it. It is like you need ridiculous numbers of like it is prohibitively expensive basically to anyone in existence to create content faster than players can chew through it.
Yep, it's true.
Unless you make it so ridiculously hard that it becomes borderline impossible, and maybe even impossible, at which point the players get angry and don't play your game. So in both cases, you come out with new content in 3 weeks, maybe a percentage of your player base is already done with it and bored.
Yep.
So having these little bits, and like even Warcraft has been doing this recently, where like a week or so ago, the Pepe achievement went live, and there was these. We blew up Twitter for a day, which it was the first major like social media campaign that I'd been a big part of planning and everything, so I felt pretty good about that. It went really well. we got trending with like a completely organic campaign. It was really cool. But anyway, it wasn't like globally trending or anything, but it was trending in LA, so I was fine with that. But anyway, like the Pepe costumes came out, and a bunch of people for a day were like, I should log into World of Warcraft and get these Pepe costumes because it sounds pretty cool. And that's the sort of thing that like doesn't necessarily keep you engaged in the game, but it can bring you back into the game.
Yeah.
Like the Pepe achievement came out, and I know a bunch of people who have been like, oh yeah, Pepe came out, and I was going around picking up the costumes and thought to myself, you know what, I should finally unlock flying. So now I've been playing every day for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, that's cool. Like, that's because the thing about every single MMO in existence, regardless of what game it is you will get tired of it. You will have periods of time where you're like, I don't really feel like playing WoW this week. Yeah, it's a video game. Name a single video game that you can play every single day of your life and never get bored. That doesn't happen. Destiny, like, I'm sure, give me another month and I'll be like, I'd rather play Fallout or something like that. Because Fallout comes out in 2 weeks and I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I really like the way that they've been handling content releases in A Taken King. I'm really curious about this whole, like, rumor that they're not going to charge for DLC anymore, and instead they're going to have this emote store.
Yeah, they're going to basically give us cosmetic things to purchase, and then on the flip side, they're just going to give us, they're hoping to give us content for free.
Yeah. Like,
and their stall maneuver is clearly to push back or gate content. We've seen a lot of gating so far in this expansion, and it's all felt pretty good, I think, to the average person.
I'm completely fine with the gating. Like, I think gating is a good idea, honestly. 100% honestly, I think gating is a good idea. I think everybody likes to say, no, I'm done with this bit, and I want the next bit right now because it's done, and I want it right now. But it's honestly, you will enjoy the game more. I say this as someone who was really hardcore about World of Warcraft for years, and then sort of was forced to go kind of casual when I moved and changed time zones and everything. And now I'm like, wow, I'm actually enjoying just logging in when I feel like doing some stuff instead of feeling like I have to log in every single day and then screaming at Blizzard because there hasn't been a new raid in 6 months or whatever, 8 months, 12 months, entirely too long for Siege of Orgrimmar. But yeah, like, I think that it's actually a good thing to tell gamers, sorry, you have to wait for this. It's for your own good. You're going to enjoy this game more if you don't try to live inside of it.
I agree. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, tomorrow, 10 o'clock,
time.
you're going to live inside it.
I'm streaming basically every day now.
Nice.
So, and I'm also still doing content. I picked it back up basically on YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then one, you've already noticed, and two, I'm probably streaming right now, especially if it's Friday morning around like 10 or so. Yeah, I'm probably streaming right now. Yeah. And we're doing hard mode Destiny, and we're clearly going to be world first. As soon as we find who our fifth and sixth person is going to be. You're just
gonna pick up like Professor Broman.
Yeah, it's gonna be a couple. Like, I mean, we definitely have Shizzle. So it's me, Shizzle, Emo. I think Corey is gonna be sick tomorrow. And we have I don't know how many other people are gonna be calling out sick or be taking the day off, but we have an assortment of people that have run with us already. So we'll be able to pull from that and get a couple good guys in, because we haven't run with anybody that's been like, Jesus Christ, like, get them out, Yeah. So we'll definitely find a group, and we're all over 300, so we'll be ready to go. So yes, it's the same URL as YouTube, just Twitch. Just replace Twitch, youtube.com with twitch.tv/akmikebe, and that's it. You're good. Yeah,
I will be watching tomorrow when I can between my 400 meetings.
Yeah. Yeah, and you'll be running with us because we're gonna have to do it again and again.
Yeah.
We'll do hard mode once, get a shitload of loot, and then we're gonna run it 2 more times at least.
Yep. I will definitely be running it with you at some point.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be, well, let's see. I should be actually completely fine for a reset on Tuesday.
Right. Well, aren't you gonna be home tomorrow afternoon?
I will be home tomorrow and all weekend as well. I don't know I don't know exactly what my schedule is going to look like tomorrow evening yet.
Okay.
It really just depends on how long I get stuck at work.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of stuff that needs to get done before the weekend.
Fine.
And I would rather get it all. I'd rather get it all done tomorrow and then have the entire weekend to sort of relax than be like, oh, I'll come in on Saturday for a few hours or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Fine, dude, whatever.
But maybe I'll do that anyway. So we'll see.
Yeah. I already prepared my wife. I was like, yeah, tomorrow probably going to be streaming from 10 o'clock until 2 a.m. So we'll see what happens. It totally depends. Like if we blow through it, then maybe I'll have dinner downstairs. But if not, it's going to be dinner here with the control in my hand.
Just blend it. Just put all the food in the blender. Make it into a nice little slushie for me. Give me a straw.
Oh, God.
Please place it directly in front of me. This is really important. I've got to shoot this thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to be back.
Yeah, it is.
And
as mentioned, the next couple of weeks are shit for me, so I would not recommend getting your hopes up for another couple of weeks. I know that like basically Wednesday onward for the next couple of weeks, I am dead to the world, except for when I'm broadcasting something.
Yeah.
But then after that, we should be pretty good. So we'll see.
Yep. Well.
And cool things are happening in the near future, so keep your eyes out.
What is this shit? What is this bullshit teasing thing?
Yeah.
You don't tell me shit.
I don't.
Damn it.